Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another College and Career Pathways. I'm your host, Tony Curitan, and we are here today with Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union. We're continuing with our financial literacy series, and today we are going to be talking about budgeting, how to create a budget, what is a budget, how will a budget help me? All of these things we are putting on for you so that you can make some informed decisions about your future, your career, your life, what you want to do. So, Colleen, we're so glad to have you back, and you can go ahead and get started.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you. Happy to be here, everyone. Today we are looking at budgeting, and the word budgeting is like a bummer, right? It's like a downer. So we think spending plan, and we're going to talk about budgets in a realistic way. So I have a video, we have a short video that kind of explains the inner struggle we have with ourselves when making financial decisions.
Junk mail, coupons, bill. My tax refund.
300 bucks? Party time. If by party you mean do not spend that money, then party time indeed.
I've always wanted some of these.
Jen, you're an adult. What are your priorities?
Priority number 1, don't listen to her. This is like free money. Have fun with it.
Oh, and is going broke over an emergency expense fun for you? Write down your financial goals on pretty paper, tape them to your mirror, and whisper compliments to them every morning.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You need to remind yourself of what's important.
Not everyone fits in a neat little budgeting box.
What are you doing?
Making a note. I'm going to prioritize my goals.
Gross.
But not necessarily the way you want me to.
Ha!
Everyone is different. My priorities are unique to me. It'll be easier for me to make decisions if I'm aware of my goals. I'll set up a reminder to pop up on payday.
According to this bank statement, your spending does not align with those goals.
Here we go.
Did you know that if you stopped buying lattes for 1 month, you would
Be an absolutely miserable person.
I do like fancy coffees.
Fluffy Wings over there is trying to deprive you of all the things that make you happy.
Achieving your goals will make you happy.
Barf.
Carry a journal around with you and diligently jot down every financial transaction you make in a day.
Who does that? You'll give it 2 weeks, get bored, and give up.
What if I really put my mind to it this time?
Oh, right. You mean like that time you ran a marathon.
Well, I never actually ran that marathon.
Exactly.
Every transaction, no matter how big or how small, is either contributing to a goal or taking away from it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
There's no way I'm carrying a journal around with me.
Well, duh.
But tracking my expenses with the budgeting app sounds easy enough.
Okay, but the real question is, what are you gonna do with your bonus 300 bucks?
It's not a bonus. It's income that should be budgeted.
Come on, treat yourself.
If your goal is to save, then rewarding yourself by spending money isn't gonna help.
Spend it, spend it,
Save
spend
it,
spend
save it.
Guys! Rewards are motivation for good behavior. They'll help me stick to my goals.
In your face.
And they don't have to be big or even money-based.
In your face.
For example, if I check my budgeting app every day this month, I'm totally giving myself permission to spend an entire day playing video games guilt-free as a reward.
Can't wait.
Prioritize, track, reward. This is going to go toward my emergency fund and my new laptop. Except for $5 that's going toward a fancy coffee. Look, I know that spending money isn't good. But it also isn't bad. I'm the one who needs to be responsible, and I can do that by prioritizing my goals, tracking my spending, and rewarding myself for creating smart financial habits. I can't let my ideas of what's good or what's bad make my spending decisions for me.
You
can't?
Cool. So, does the fact that I can see you guys mean I'm going crazy?
Yes.
No.
Just kidding.
kidding.
Uh-oh.
All right, so that's a pretty cute representation. Let me get the slides up here. Oh, how did we get them to be full screen? I'll forget it. All right, so, well, good, bad spending. All right. Good versus bad spending. That's kind of the inner argument. And we're getting advice from everywhere, right? We're getting, this is good to spend money on. This is bad to spend money on. This is how much you should save. This is how much you should save. And they contradict each other. You know, there's finance experts that say, you know, no debt, don't get any debt. And there's other finance experts that say, yeah, you know, having some debt is, you know, can be positive and help you build up some credit. So it can be confusing and it can be overwhelming to try to listen, you know, to everyone, to all of those voices. So, like on the prior side, we're going to use psychology to build a budget you can stick with, right? Like the video was showing, if you're, you know, okay, write this down in a notebook every day, and you say, oh, I'm not going to do that, then don't do that. Then move on and try something else, right? Don't force yourself to try to do something you're not going to do. But today we're going to look at what is something you can commit yourself to. All right, it's time to rethink. So we're rethinking, we're looking at your spending plan. We're rethinking how you spend money. Rather than following all the advice, instead of looking at things as good or bad, and that's kind of just how we classify things, is buying this coffee good or bad. We're looking at all of our purchases, prioritize, track them, reward. So these are the steps we'll go through. Prioritize. That's your first step, goal setting. Now, goal setting could be a few different things. When you hear goals, you're like, oh, they want me to talk about what job I want, or, you know, what college I want to go to. Those are goals, absolutely. You can look at when you want to maybe have your own car. You can look at having enough money to be able to go on spring break, you know, senior year, or being able to afford a game system. Being able to afford being part of a club, or going or shopping at a store, you know, that all of your friends shop at. So you can't buy everything. You can't spend money on everything you want. That's the downside. So you've got to prioritize. What are your goals? What do you want your life to look like in the next few years? You know, okay, well, if I want to continue to play football, you know, for the school team, I should probably keep my gym membership, meaning I need to afford to keep my gym membership. So if I make that a priority, what is something that, you know, isn't a priority? You know, you're thinking of your career in the future. You know, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. Fine. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to give up the gym or not. But what about some other things, you know, magazine subscriptions to, you know, the Wall Street Journal, or, you know, a scholarly law journal, and that might be priority over, you know, Patreon. Oh, I don't have that graphic with me. Oh, they have me so far away now. I'll see if I can bring it for next time, but it shows the subscription services, like just the long list of subscription services that people don't realize they're paying for. You know, Amazon, and you know, Disney Plus, and Hulu, Netflix, maybe Paramount, maybe Peacock. There's Patreon, Sirius XM Radio, Apple Music, Spotify. If you have a Shipt account like Stitch Fix, I can go on, and they're all a little bit of money a month. HBO, which is just like, $9.99 a month, $10.99 a month. And this is just $5.99 a month. And that's a small number. So you don't realize kind of how much it adds up to. So first you got to start thinking, all right, if I can't have everything, what do I really want? What's my priority? Your goals are your goals, right? This is not, MSGCU saying these are the financial goals you need to make. This is you saying, I want to be able to earn enough over the summer to afford this, or I want to be able to put this much aside in an emergency account. Specific goals, not just, I want to be able to save for a house. Okay, that's great, but that's too vague. What house that you're buying with who, when? So you can think of, I'm going to buy myself brand new set of golf clubs. You're like, I can't do that. Well, you know what? I'm going to put $5 a week aside somehow, we'll get to all that. And eventually at some point, it's going to reach that, that high enough. So think about what do I want? What's important to me? What's priority to me? The things that are priority to your parents, what they want you to spend spend money on may not be the same as what you think. Prioritizing where your money goes is motivating because you're spending money on the things you want. It's helpful. It gets you excited about spending money because you're getting more of what you want, right? It's you think about it positively. There's motivating factors for prioritizing. You're asserting your beliefs and values. Someone's like, oh my God, you pay for that gym? Yeah, I do pay for that gym. It's actually for my health. I have to keep my blood pressure down or my cholesterol down. Or yeah, I go there and work out and they have childcare and that's the only time I can work out and have childcare. As long as you have a reason why that makes sense to you, why that's important to you. And it's not just, yeah, I don't know, my friends have a membership, so I thought I'd get one too. Do you really need one? Defend your values, hey, I want to be able to afford a brand new car by the time I'm 21. Brand new cars are very, very expensive. You say, oh, I'm going to get a new car by 18. What are you talking about? Brand new cars are very, very expensive. You're buying your own car. It's probably going to take much. I think I was 30 years old, just under, maybe like 28 or 29 years old when I got my first new car. And that was a different story. Then sacrifice the car you have now. You're going to drive around the beater, don't get that side mirror fixed. I mean, if it's dangerous, get the side mirror fixed, but let the stuff on the car you have go. If you're mentally kind of putting your money in an account or putting your money towards that down payment on that new car you really want, you're in charge. You're in charge. Again, this is not me saying, here's your categories, here's how much you should spend in each one. Now I can give you recommendations, but getting coffee in the morning. Everyone rolls their eyes. I think it's terrible. I can't believe how much money people spend on, stopping somewhere every morning and spending $4, $5, $6 on $8 on a cup of coffee or every day. Well, maybe there's reasons. Maybe it's who you go with, who you see. It's part of a ritual. Maybe we can work on reducing it down, or like, what is it that you like about it? It's the people. Well, maybe you can do something with the people. You can stop by, but maybe not buy a coffee, something like that. All right, so get started. What are my goals? This is not something you're going to answer by the end of this workshop. I really want you to sit and think about it, over the next year, the next 5 years. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Am I going to be living on my own? Am I going to have a roommate? Am I going to drive in my own car? Am I going to be paying for my own phone? Am I going to do I have a pet? Am I have car insurance? I mean, work through these things in your head. And then from there, prioritize, okay, I know these are what's important to me for the future. So I know that I want to save, and we're going to look at pay yourself first and, putting money aside for those goals. And I know that I can spend my money on these priorities. Track. We got the plan. First, we got the plan. That's prioritized. Eventually, you're going to have, kind of a list. You're going to have a chart. This is how I see myself. These are the things that are important to me. These are the things that I want to emphasize, that I want to put money on, that I want, not put money on, that I want to contribute towards, that I feel good about spending money on. And these are the pile of things that I really is kind of an extra. I don't really need that, Spotify subscription. I thought, plan. I thought I would listen to music all the time, but honestly, I never do. Then don't have it. Oh, I got the Paramount Plus for 6 months free, and then it just stayed on. Think about it. What am I paying for? What can I let go? Now it's time to track. As you start paying, tracking your expenses just means being aware of where your money's going, right? Don't think too hard. Oh, tracking it, that's going to be so detailed. That's going to be so overwhelming. Just think of it as it's just keeping track. It's just knowing where my own money goes. I want to know where my money goes. How am I going to be able to find out where my money goes? You're aware as you're spending it, where it's going. Now, how you track it, that's where some people get stuck, because there's tons of, templates online you can find, lots of different online resources, the Consumer Protection Bureau, the Federal Reserve, where you can find, paper budgeting spreadsheets, excuse me, I can't think of the word, to fill out. There are apps. Mint is actually a great app. There's apps that, link to your bank accounts that'll kind of tell you percentages of how much you're spending. You could do the old envelope method, save all the receipts and put them in different envelopes. I like to take pictures. I take a picture of the receipt and then throw it away, because that little receipt is not going to last more. It's going to get thrown away anyway. So I can kind of look through and go through my old photos and be like, oh yeah, and then mark down what I spent. Then you can delete those photos. What works for you? What is something you will stick with? And it's not going to be a habit right away. Oh, I didn't track things yesterday. Okay, well, let's write them down now. We're getting back on the horse. You got to keep going. We're working on a long-term plan here. When you track your expenses, some things will come to light, right? I could ask probably all the adults here, which I won't. I bet how much a month you spend on groceries. Give me 30 seconds and then tell me how much you spend on groceries. All right, take 30 seconds and how much do you spend on gas? And they'd all say, okay, I pretty good number. I bet it's probably let's see, groceries for a month. That depends on your family, but I'm gonna say $500 solid, at least $500. Well, you start tracking your expenses as you go to Meijer and Target. I know I stopped at the Randazzo and then I went to Trader Joe's, and you're like, oh my God, I spent $900 on groceries this month. I had no idea it was this much. I've been thinking it's 500 in my head. There's nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, but it's hard to keep track in your head. Actually seeing it all in one place over a period of time. Again, we're thinking long-term plan. You start to realize, oh, 900, or maybe, oh, I only spent 400 last month. Oh, I only spent 450 the month before. Oh, so, this is something that I can, work with, or I'm going to lower my food budget. Second thing you'll notice, is evidence of your progress. That's a big motivation, the best motivation. For example, you notice you're spending $900 a month on groceries, and you make an effort to, go less often, use coupons, don't get it delivered and pay delivery fees. You've been working for a few months on saving grocery costs, and you tally it up at the end of the month, and it was 900 last month, and it's 800 this month, and maybe it's 750 or 760 the next month. You're seeing progress. No, you're not hitting 500 the next month. That's not realistic. You can try, but steps. You want to see steps. You want to have something. You see evidence of progress. I compare in the same way I compare credit reports to report cards. I'm getting ahead of myself again. I think of budgeting like your health, right? We all know what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. For instance, I have a Dr. Pepper here. I know that's full of sugar. I really shouldn't have a Dr. Pepper. There's plenty of people that's just empty calories. That's terrible for you. If I had a personal trainer, they'd be quite angry. And for me, it's a treat. I have water at home. At work, I use the vending machine once in a while and get a Dr. Pepper only. That's the only thing I get out of the machine. But let's start to track. Maybe how many Dr. Peppers am I getting a month? Maybe I need to stop getting vending machine Dr. Peppers. Things will start to come to light. You stop giving up one thing and you see how it's working. Oh, no, no Dr. Pepper was no problem, right? I was saying your health. I'm sorry. What's good for you? If you start going to the gym, you start working out, you start to see changes in your body. You start changing your diet. You start seeing your clothes fit a little better. You start, maybe seeing a little more tone, getting a little compliments. And that's what gets you to keep coming back to the gym, because what you've been doing is making a difference. It's the same things with your finances. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to set up a routine, just like you're not going to go run a marathon. I need you to run 5 miles a day and take an aerobics. You're not going to commit to that. What can you commit to working out? Can you commit to running twice a week with, aerobics class twice a week? What can you commit to? And go from there. Why tracking works? Again, the motivation. We thrive on knowing that what we are doing is making a difference, right? And who is it helping? Ourselves. So it's self-fulfilling. The harder we work, the better off we are. So thinking about it in the positive way of, I'm so proud of myself. I really didn't think being able to have an emergency fund was possible, or I really didn't think, after 1 year, this would be, I'd want to keep doing it. I thought after a year, I'd want to give up keeping track, but no, I want to keep going. You don't know, right? You got to get started somewhere. We kind of covered that. So again, try different methods. If you're kind of a technological person, look up apps. You can maybe create spreadsheets, search for spreadsheets you can fill in yourself. There's what works for you. If that method doesn't work, try something else. If you're trying to save the receipts and you end up losing the receipts, then maybe don't buy anything with cash. Just use always your debit card. And then you can use, your transaction activity and see every one of your purchases, as a transaction in your bank account. Then it's all tracked for you if you always use your debit card. But if you get cash, if you take cash out of the ATM, you got to account for that too. All right, here's the best part. Reward. Again, we start to look better. Our clothes start to fit a little better. We're getting compliments. getting time to get a new shirt. This one's getting a little baggy. I'm excited. I want to reward myself and get some new clothes for all my hard work, getting healthy, at the gym. I wish I could say that to myself, but that's why you do it, for a reward. So rewarding yourself is celebrating your progress, right? When someone says, I'm going to the gym to get healthy, to get healthier. Well, when does that stop? When did you say, okay, I reached it. Now I'm officially healthy and I don't need to come anymore. There isn't really an end. You're just continuing to maintain, continuing to work to maintain, right? Continuing to stay healthy. So it's celebrating your progress along the way, even if you're not working, really hard for one specific goal, something you're just always doing. Now, how are you going to reward yourself? This is again up to you. What motivates you personally? You could reward yourself for, like they mentioned, I use the budgeting app every day for 30 days. Or I hit a goal. I paid off my Old Navy credit card, or I paid off the balance on my Kohl's card. That could be one. Increment based. I'm going to start an emergency fund that I want $1,000 in, but you know what? I'm going to allow myself a reward every $200. Those could be milestones that you want to reward yourself for. Set on a little notepad. What are those rewards? You say, just like the movie, well, if you spend money rewarding yourself, then doesn't it cancel it out? Well, yes, it does. So it could be money, it could be spending money, but you saved $80 on groceries this month. Getting a $5 coffee is a reasonable reward, right? Cut yourself some slack. Movie night, spending $5.99 renting a movie, or maybe even $11.99 renting a movie. Maybe not $11.99, maybe $4 or $5.99 renting a movie and watching it at home, and not feeling bad about it, because my entertainment, portion category, I've been spending so much less. Reward yourself. It doesn't have to be material or financial based either. Spend an entire day vegging out. For me, guilt is a big part of things. I feel so guilty. But if I say, all right, I'm not going to do laundry this weekend. I'm not going to do any laundry this weekend. And you know what? I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to feel bad about it. Not until next week. And hey, a laundry guilt-free weekend is pretty great. Doesn't make for a great week after, but saying, you know what, I'm gonna go drive up and visit my friend that I haven't seen in a really long time. Or for myself, when I was in the classroom years ago, grading tests, you have like 85, 90 tests in front of you. And you're like, oh my God, this is taking forever. It's so repetitive. Do I do all the first pages? Do I do all of this one? And then go back, the essay portion. So how do you eat an elephant? How do I attack it? Chunk it up into pieces with small rewards along the way. I would like nail polish. That was back when I thought I could do my own nails. And I'd do a nail, and I'd let that nail dry, and I would have to correct, I think 5 tests, like every 5 tests, or, whatever I came up with, then I could do another nail. So I kind of had to keep going. Otherwise, my nails wouldn't be finished. Well, now I have one hand. Well, I have to keep going. I want to have the other hand. Now, who's holding me accountable? I'm holding myself accountable. But that's what you do. You're into this. You're making rules for yourself. You're following them. If you break it, you know what? I say, I can't grade anymore. I can't take it. I'm just going to finish my nails and go to bed. You know what? Maybe that's what you needed tonight, but you gave it a good shot. Things like that. Rewards can be playing a video game for hours and hours you know, and not feeling bad about it. It's different for each person. Why rewarding works is because it's your motivation to keep going, right? If it's, you know, you say the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, saving for retirement. The reason it's so hard and kind of goes in one ear and out the other when I say how important it is to save for retirement. Retirement is just so far away. How can I think that far in the future? It's just, but I can't even see the end of the light at the tunnel there. You know, I can't even imagine my life then. But I need rewards along the way. I need to be able to see a statement that says, oh, wow, my $100 turned into how much? You know, 10 years later, I come back, I'm like, well, my gosh, that turned into how much? This is pretty great. You need rewards along the way to renew your commitment. Think about when you're a kid, you love getting stickers. High schoolers still love getting stickers. A pen, you know, who wants prizes? Oh, I want a pen. I give prizes for Kahoot games. You know, a pen is not like a great reward. A sticker is just a sticker. But it's the reward, you know, it's the feeling, it's the happiness. Let it be a reward. You know, you get that gold star, you wear that gold star and tell everyone I'm a gold star student today. Reaching one milestone makes you feel a little better. Reaching a second milestone makes you feel like maybe this is something I can do. Like maybe if I stick with this, I can really turn things around. You know, maybe you're in a rough spot. You know, you're spending $4,000 on groceries. Let's say 1,500. 15. I mean, that's crazy, but you can't turn it around overnight. So looking at it in these achievable pieces makes it realistic. Come on. So at the same time, you're thinking of your priorities. You think of these are my priorities. These are things I can let go. Think of what some of the rewards and what the milestones are going to be first, right? You need to set the goal first. I will reward myself every $100 in my emergency fund. You know, you have to have that goal before you start putting money in. You can't just suddenly say, oh, I hit $20. Seems like it's time to celebrate. This is in the planning process. Figure out some rewards, maybe not all of them, make some ideas, you know, jot some stuff down. Setting a timer, saying, you know what? I am going to force myself to grade papers, but I'm only going to do it for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to watch TV for 20 minutes. And then, you know, because you can watch a 30-minute TV show on Hulu for like 22 minutes. So I'll watch one show and then I'll grade papers for 20 minutes. Reward yourself, you know, in things that motivate you. Incorporate, prioritize, track, reward. Don't think I need all these columns. I got to figure out what's a priority to you in your life. Do you want to, is getting a good high paying job important to you? Okay, well, let's maybe having some nice clothes, having a suit, having a tie, you know, these things are a priority. What personally are you working towards? Track it, reward yourself. Rules of 3, you remember 3. Not everything, but a lot of things you think of, groups of 3, prioritize, track, reward. Are there any questions? Is there anything that's I can clarify or elaborate on? Well, certainly, if it seems a little overwhelming, talk to your friends about it. Talk to your parents about it. You know, hey, mom, I don't need to know your whole budget, but what do you prioritize and what do you let go? I mean, she'll probably say, well, I pay for the cable because I just have to watch Bravo, but I refuse to get the the double package, the sports package, because that'll be a waste. Or I don't have unlimited data on my phone because we have Wi-Fi at home. What's somebody else's priority? Your friends, what do you guys have priority? What do you think? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. Talk it out, see where other people are going as advice, as just as to observe, not like for them to tell you what to do. Ms. Tony, was there anything else you can think of or ask?
Actually, it was great presentation. It puts a lot of things in perspective, because that reward portion of it, you really drove it home for me, because I'm like, oh wow, I can break this down into smaller pieces where I get a quicker reward, especially if you've got a goal that is really large and it takes 6 months to a year to achieve. So breaking it down for those, I committed to this and completed it for first 30 days, and making a small treat, not a spending frenzy, but just a small treat, that really does make a whole lot of sense, and very supportive and encouraging for you to continue in whatever it is, whatever goal you set up for yourself. Very, very, very informative, very informative.
All right, excellent. And one more thing I thought of is, if this is something you should incorporate into your life, talk to your parents about it. Let them know that you have this goal, because maybe they'll get in on it. If you reach $100, you know what? They'll make your favorite meal. They'll let you watch TV on a school night when you're not allowed to. It's a great way to get rewards incorporated. They will want to support you in this. So you can ask for help there. Call the credit union. We'll help you set it up. But yeah, I'm glad this is to get you excited. Now you're going to go home and get excited and start thinking about your goals and your priorities right away.
Good deal. Colleen, do you have any graphics on this? PDFs that I can?
I have a sheet on just setting goals, which I can send you, but I figure they've gotten SMART goals or goal sheets in other forms, but
Send it to me. Let me take a look at it, and I'll see about publishing it out for.
Absolutely.
Okay, good deal. Well, if there aren't any questions or comments, we will wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, Colleen. Awesome as always. And we'll see you all next time on College and Career Pathways.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.